Whenever I watch any TV show or movie nowadays, I immediately start to think of it like a D&D campaign. Most movies are good for one-shots and TV shows are good for campaigns. So naturally, when I watched K-pop Demon Hunters for the 20th time and finally got the songs out of my head for a second, an idea started to form of how I would turn K-pop Demon Hunters into a D&D campaign. Hi everyone, and welcome to The Castle, where we look at life through storytelling and TTRPGs. My name is Sir Ryan of Wiley, and let's dive into K-pop Demon Hunters, the D&D campaign. We start off, as always, with a session 0, and that's where our characters are going to pick their classes. I think that Rumi would be a College of Swords bard. I think that Mira would be a blade-singing wizard, and I think that Zoe would be a Way of Elements monk with the Hun Moon as her element. Let me know down in the comments what you think their character classes and subclasses would be. If you've watched my other video about the 5 character building takeaways from K-pop Demon Hunters, you'll know that one of my favorite things that characters should have is a secret. If you want to know the other 4, go watch that video. It's right up here and it's linked in the description down below. With backstories created and character classes picked, our session 0 is done. Now, as the DM, I sit down and take all of that information and combine it into the world that we're playing in. Rumi clearly has the best secret, and that is that her father was a freaking demon. This is a fantastic secret, and with her mother dead, although I definitely think there's room to maneuver there, and her father nowhere in the picture, that leaves me as the DM to have a lot of room and flexibility to add that into the story where I see fit. And oh, do I have plans for that. If I didn't already have a villain picked out, this is where I would sit down and make that. We'll stick with Gima being the BBEG or the Babig in our campaign, and we'll have the Saja boys be his lieutenants. For Act 1 of the campaign, we set up lots of scenes and sessions where the girls as Huntrix, and yes, that's their adventuring party name, not just their band name, have a ton of success defeating demons and even catch some glimpses of the Golden Hun Moon. This is where we introduce our lieutenants, the Saja boys. The girls get to know them through concerts or K-pop events, and everywhere the Saja boys arrive, demons seem to pop up and the girls have to fight them. Suspicious. During one of these sessions where they're together either at a concert or an event, both the girls and the Saja boys get attacked by demons. The Saja boys help Huntrix fight off the demons. This is where they reveal that they are in fact demons themselves. They reveal in this moment that they entered deals with Gima and they are all trying to get out of them. It's during this fight that Jinu hopefully has the opportunity to help Rumi and help cover her patterns up from the other players, again trying to keep their secret. During what I hope is a pretty tense standoff with some heavy roleplay in here, this is where Gino reveals that he must protect his daughter.
Rumi, I am your father. That's not true. That's impossible.
Yeah, I'm pulling a Star Wars, but at least Jinu doesn't mean father in Korean. Apparently, it means to keep / to stay in beauty, which makes so much sense for Jinu and all of his character flaws. Now, you're probably thinking, why would you pull a Star Wars and make Jinu her father? That's not fun or romantic, and you're right, it's much more devastating. And I'll prove it to you in the rest of this video. As a DM, it is my obligation, nay, my duty, to destroy my players. Only if it's been decided ahead of time in a session 0, however. Rumi has grown up with no parents save Celine, and she probably harbors some feelings of anger and resentment towards her father, and we're gonna dig into those throughout the campaign. Also, just as naturally, she's probably curious about him, wanting to know where he was, how he met her mother, all of those things, and no, we're not doing a TV show about it. All of that anger and also curiosity is our in with our villains. That's how they're gonna get close to the other girls, especially Rumi. Since the demons seem to be able to spy on the human world because they're just below the Han Moon, like we see in a couple moments in the movie, it makes sense that Jinu would know who his daughter is and have been keeping track on her the whole time. So Jinu breaks the big news and tells Huntrix that he and the Saja boys are trying to break free of their oaths and bonds to Gima so that Jinu and Rumi can be a family. We're still gonna give Rumi that same curse, those same problems. Her patterns are affecting her voice. Thus, Huntrix can't quite finish the Golden Hanmoon, which, according to Gino and the Sajo Boys, is also their goal. As Act 2 of the campaign begins and flows, Gino helps Rumi with her patterns. He starts talking to her about his life with her mother, talking about how he became a demon and why he made a deal with Gima, and he's going to slowly break down the relationship between Celine and Huntrix by talking about how Celine has secrets that she won't tell Rumi. As he does this, hopefully the other characters at the table, Mira and Zoe, really start to feel like Rumi is holding something back from them. A lot of the role-playing scenes I would also want to keep secret, so I would split up the party to have these role-play moments with the other Saja Boys, with Ginu, all of those kinds of things. Speaking of Mira and Zoe and the other Saja Boys are going to have the backstories that we desperately wish they got in the movie, and through their backstories are going to help undermine Mira and Zoe's personality traits and personality flaws, and thus break down Huntrix even more. I can just imagine the amazing role-playing moments that the Saja Boys would have with Mira and Zoe, that Ginu would have with Rumi, and the Saja Boys breaking down Huntrix one by one. As Act 2 starts to come to a close, Ginu is finally going to reveal that Celine killed Rumi's mother, trying to kill him. This bombshell would hopefully lead to an amazing role-playing scene between the girls and Celine, trying to get at the real reason, or trying to get Celine to even confess as to what she did with Rumi's mother. This argument would line up with the climax of Act 2, the K-Pop International Idol Awards. At the awards, this is where Ginu and the Saja Boys spring their trap. And yes, I would use the Saja Boys, I would not use two random demons. 3 of the Saja Boys pretend to steal Bobby, who is the perfect NPC, by the way. The characters would love him. While the other 2 Saja Boys perform the takedown scene. In this scene, Rumi is meant to feel like the girls have been lying to her and not trusting her the entire time, and Rumi is going to hopefully be broken. Meanwhile, the other 3 Saja Boys are pretending to steal Bobby, and the other 2 then get revealed that the Saja Boys have been going against them the entire time. The betrayal of the Saja Boys would be on all fronts, and I can just imagine how devastated the characters would be at the table. It would be chef's kiss glorious. At the end of this, the Hanmoon would be destroyed and Gima returns to the physical world. Act 3 would probably take place in a pretty short amount of time, just like it kinda does in the movie. The girls will get their final confrontation with Gima and the Saja Boys. Depending on how all of these scenes and how all of these things work out, the girls may have the opportunity to redeem the other members of the Saja Boys and possibly redeem Ginu himself. If the characters and the girls choose not to redeem the Saja Boys and kill him, fine by me. It's up to them. For that final confrontation with Gima, I would absolutely make some mechanics to where the girls could restore and rebuild the Hanmoon and save the souls of the K-pop idol fans that are there at the concert. Hopefully, our girls are victorious and Gima gets sent back to hell or wherever else he goes. That's not really that clear in the movie. What do you think of my idea? How would you run a K-pop Demon Hunters campaign? Would you start at the beginning like I did? Would you go back even farther? Let me know how you would do it down in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching my video. If you like what we're doing here, please feel free to subscribe and like and comment. And if you really like what we're doing here and you want the castle to flourish, consider subscribing to the Patreon. The Patreon is linked down in the description below. I'm Sir Ryan of Wiley, and see you next time at the castle.